support me in my travels, my travails from doing that work. And so those people who understood 50, 60 years ago what we are talking about here, and not only felt it in their heart, not only gave voice to it, but raised their fist towards it. We cannot allow that, the language in our detriment. I've been told that time is up. So I say to you, there are so many 5 minutes left. Anyway, yeah, I'm losing my trend with that. We cannot support anyone who does not support our political prisoners. We cannot become political slaves. And a political slave is someone who does political work without political pay. And our political pay for everyone who wants to vote has to be to free our political prisoners. If you don't keep that standard, you're nothing but a slave. You continue that. And we must make sure all of our friends understand our religion. I'm not a religious person. My religion is liberation. And so I contribute to my religion. And I don't care what anybody's religion is. If their religion doesn't contribute to freeing our political prisoners, disassociate from them. Cut your arm off, as it said in the Bible. Release yourself from that commitment. Everybody I know must, or associate with, must support political prisoners, or I will not associate with them. As I said once again, this is the bedrock of our organization. If you're joining a group and you walk out of here today and you're arrested, and they can arrest you for anything. You don't have to do anything. And the most dangerous thing you can do in America is be political. And I know, as working with Lynn Stewart as an attorney, when I would work with some of the young men, I'm a schemer too. I live in a cultural capitalist society. I try to tell them what they should do with their money. And I tell them, listen, you're dealing drugs, you're doing all kinds of things, but that's not dangerous. Don't let them know that you're into the economic swirl or into the economic situation. Because the moment that the system finds out that you're spending money positively, like buying an apartment house, you're in trouble. And I remember working with a young group, and I tried to explain that to them, and I said, above all, don't let them know that we're buying up property in up-and-coming neighborhoods, 105th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. They thought I was funny. They let everybody know. And everybody was arrested within 6 months. They don't care about the other things that they call illegal that we do. They care about our getting involved in what's real in America. So I say to you through this report, and I will conclude with our recently passed Sister Lynn Stewart. Her whole career, I'm talking 35 years of legal work, was based on each paid according to their ability. And those who were successful criminals, she charged high funds because they needed to stay out there in the economic world. And she did political prisoners for free. Richard Williams, 3 years, free. Some of the others, Black Liberation Army, free. And this is the way we have to interpret and act with our world. Lynn has passed on. She was an internationalist, Puerto Rican independence movement. And people, if you go to any of the meetings, they mention how Lynn, for 10, 12, 15 years, supported them and their families while they were in prison. Well, we haven't given up the internationalist aspect. But when I say to you, with the passing of Lynn Stewart, we lost another warrior, a person who was on our team. And as Queen Mother Moore said to me 60 years ago, we have to replace all of those we have lost. And so if we're not supporting our political prisoners, we must think of doing our political prisoner replacement. That is, you do what they did. And I remember once complaining to Glen and says, I work in 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I never have a penny because at the end of the month, we took care of our political prisoners before we paid the rent. And Lynn says, I have an idea to solve your problem. And I says, what's that? She says, we'll talk to some of the guys in prison going 20 to 30 years, ask them to come out and do your work, and you take their place in jail. That was the answer. I didn't ask that question again. We must think of that. We must think of that. Our brothers and sisters are in jail, and we must support them or take their place out here. Do what they did. Imitate them. And in imitating them, we will soon be free. Thank you for this time, and I will see you in the other meeting.
And Brother Ralph, I just want to say to the list of political prisoners that we have on the inside, please look at the name of this person, because here's a new one. And I decided I would wear his shirt today to show him support out of Newark, New Jersey, somebody I know personally, dedicating his life to the struggle. I mean, you know, involved in the stopping of violence, involved in police brutality, just a solid brother in the community. And his name is Sharif Aminotep. He is facing 20 years to life over some BS. They talked about, you know, weapons charge. They didn't even find anything on him, but some BS. He has 6 little girls, one just born that he doesn't even know. So we're just, you know, finding out about this.
10 seconds. You must take the risk to get yourself done.
But anyway, so I wear this shirt in honor of him to bring attention to what's going on with him. This is unraveling as we speak. Brother Kemba, do we have the year review video ready? Because we're at that point. We're going to be having a video presentation over just some of the things that we have done, and then Sister Yegede will come up afterwards with the call for membership, showing you why we need you so desperately, and inviting you to join the coalition, to be a part of the work, so that we can grow stronger and can do more. But again, Brother Sharif Aminotep, Cohen Pro is real. I'm hearing about all of the comrades in St. Louis being killed. And I'm sure this is all over the place, not just here, but definitely we got a situation in Newark, New Jersey, and this brother needs our support. Sharif Aminotep.
The Black is Back Coalition.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Yes. Are you ready?
Ready.
Yes. All right. Ready for the revolution? Yes.
Good.
The Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations is an organization of organizations. We are the political instrument in which the member organizations and individuals exercise united political will and action in anti-imperialist positions. The BIBC is an activist organization that believes in self-determination for African people and is led by African people. In addition, while the coalition exercises united political will, we also recognize that the representative coalition organizations have different political philosophies. The Black is Back Coalition for Peace, Social Justice, and Reparations, having thoroughly discussed the basis of agreement between the organizations of the coalition, commit to upholding the following principles of unity. Number 1, the character of the coalition as anti-imperialist. We unite with the principles to fight against imperialism in all of its manifestations, such as colonialism, neo-colonialism, Zionism, military occupation, proxy wars, and economic embargoes and trade restrictions. Equally as important, we recognize and agree that there is an undeclared war devastating African people in the U.S. Number 2, we agree with the principle of equal democratic representation and voting rights of the organizations within the BIBC. Number 3, we agree to respect the ideological differences between the organizations of the coalition. Number 4, we agree to resolve our disagreements resolved through a democratic voting process. Number 5, we stand in solidarity with the anti-imperialist resistance occurring all over the world. Number 6, we agree that African people worldwide must have self-determination and that the oppressed peoples of the world must have self-determination as well. Number 7, we agree that African people worldwide are due reparations from the colonialist, imperialist powers of the world.
Guided by these 7 principles, the coalition has engaged in important political work for over the past year. In August 2016, we held the National Black Political Agenda for Self-Determination Preparatory Conference. Here we saw Black people make their way from New York, Washington, D.C., Boston, Florida, Alabama, and elsewhere to the First Unitarian Church in Philadelphia on the 13th and 14th to declare their own political agenda. Speakers included Lisa Davis, Ralph Pointer, Glen and Chairman Omali Yeshitela, as well as the mothers of slain young Africans. It was at this conference that Black people united with and adopted our declaration and 19 points for the National Black Political Agenda. Attendees to our conference united to return to their homes to organize state conventions and win the masses to this revolutionary declaration in 19 points. Throughout the month of October 2016, we held state conventions in Florida, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Missouri. We also held state conventions in Kansas, Texas, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. The coalition mobilized nearly 300 Africans from these areas to attend our National Black Political Agenda for Self-Determination Convention 2 days before the U.S. presidential elections on November 5th and 6th in the imperialist capital of Washington, D.C. Ours was a convention for Black working class resistance. Beginning with a rally at Malcolm X Park, the coalition steering committee members made speeches outlining the importance of the Black community having our own agenda. Mothers and relatives of Black people murdered by the U.S. domestic military force called the police also had the opportunity to be heard. We then took off on a militant 2-mile march to the imperialist White House, where another militant rally was held across the street at Lafayette Park.
Not being able to assemble and have the right to speak. For all these mothers who are here, whose children and family members, whose husbands have been murdered by an arm of the government that's called the police. There is no right for civic and no right for freedom of speech. But we are here anyway. Obama is leaving now, but Black is back. And I think it's important for us to be able to say that. What is knocking on the door of the White House is not just a small organization, but a Black revolution is knocking on the door of the White House. Our people demand to be free. And it doesn't matter who's in the White House. It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter what party they belong to. We are determined to be a free people. Yes. We are determined not to see another generation of Black people have to live on the throne and alien domination again. We should be able to control our own lives, and that's what this is a step toward.
The second day of the convention was held at Blackburn Center in Howard University before a crowded hall of enthusiastic and determined Africans. Omali Yeshitela, in his role as chairman of the Black is Back Coalition, kicked the day off with the recitation of the Declaration and National Black Political Agenda for Self-Determination. The entire 19 points of the National Black Agenda was then read and discussed with participation from the audience that was finally experienced a new capacity to take control of our own lives.
Led by Biak Olubala, we held the DHS press conference at Philadelphia Department of Human Services on January 5th in response to the colonial stranglehold that the DHS state control agency has on the Black community. Here, we made it clear that our children belong at home with their parents, not sold and controlled by the imperialist colonial state. Then, on January 14, 2017, we held the Black is Back rally for Black self-determination again in Washington, D.C. The African community came out in droves for this important rally. Our speakers included Glen, Maya Kimberly, Omali, Yeshitela, and N1 of Sanchez. Young DJ Cool Flash jumped on the turntables as N1 hit the stage for Black Power performance. We held our two-day electoral campaign on April 8th and 9th for African activists who want to open up a new front for the struggle for self-determination in the U.S. After years of organizing mass actions, conventions, and conferences to promote self-determination while fighting Democrats, Republicans, and their Black sacrifice in their own communities, the coalition has called on Black militants to invade the system white rulers have faced to exercise white political power. The electoral candidates who trained African working class people on how to use the white electoral process as a method of fighting to advance their own interests as colonized and oppressed people through the national agenda for self-determination. We had featured presentations by people such as the legendary civil rights attorney John Dewey, Glen of the Black Agenda Report, Omali Yeshitela of the African People's Socialist Party, and other noted and commented resources.
We use the electoral process because our people are in pain. Our people are in pain. Huey Newton always taught us in the Black Panther Party survival programs pending the revolution. So there's certain things you got to do. You can't go out there talking a lot of rhetoric to our people and you're not putting nothing on the table. You can't deliver no jobs. You can't stop the community from being gentrified. You can't do any of that. But our rhetoric, our ideology is correct. But people, like Mel Carpenter Brown said, bear in mind, the people are not fighting for ideas in your head. They're fighting for material benefits and a future for their children.
The school taught the history of African involvement in the electoral system in the U.S., qualifications for running for office, how to raise money, and how to frame a campaign message. Black Inside members in New York and New Jersey convened in Manhattan for the annual Puerto Rican Day Parade to support anti-colonial struggle and political prisoners Oscar Lopez Rivera on June 11, 2017.
At the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and we are supporting Oscar Lopez Rivera. We say Viva Oscar, and we all
Our Black community control of the police working group did extensive work over the past year, Some of this include community cleanup and various marches. We also held the Pigs in Your Hood Ain't No Good March down Ridge Avenue to demand Black community control of the police on June 24th. He attended and did outreach at the International African Arts Festival from July 1st to July 4th. Here, we were able to win the people to the campaigns of the Black is Black Coalition. Over the past year, the coalition held mobilizations and events geared toward building Black anti-imperialist resistance. We call on you to join and build the coalition. Build the anti-imperialist political instruments. For more information, visit blackisbackcoalition.org. Black is back.
Uhuru. Say black is back. Say black is back. Black is back. Uhuru. Black is back. Black is back.
This is my first time seeing that presentation, and I gotta tell you, it is just awesome. And the work that you all do, I know Brother Timber had something to do with this. He was the agitation and propaganda. Right, but you can see the wonderful work that they do, and it makes me just all the more proud to be a part of the Black is Back Coalition. I'm like, wow, we did all that 1 year? Wow. Next, we're gonna be calling up Sister Yeshitela. I just gotta tell you about this beautiful sister, because she's also the chair of the African National Women's Organization. And we need to find out a whole lot more about ANWO and support this sister. This is an organization that believes that African women need to have a voice of our own, not dominated by some. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that about us.
Uhuru!
Uhuru!
Black is back!
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 Wasn't that a wonderful presentation?
Oh, it was.
I mean, it's really, we could talk about all the work that we've done, but to see in action over the last year really helps to bring in the full scope of what we do as a coalition and why it's important for us to build our membership, why it's important for us to be out in these streets, because we change the narrative in many cases around some of the hot topics of the day. And we organize people to fight for these, not just the thoughts in our heads, but we fight for actual power in our communities so that we can be implementing some changes as well. So I'm here today to instruct you all to look into your packets and take out your pledge card. As we talked about earlier, the Black is Back Coalition is supported by members, our donors, and others who want to see the coalition continue to do our work. And so we're going to have Sister Reverend Saeed in the back, and also who they soon over there. They're going to come around the audience to collect your donations. But what I wanted to say here is that if you look at this pledge card, it has donation levels, your membership levels, and start, if you want to become a Black is Back Coalition individual member, you can start at $25 for the year. If you have an organization, you said, I gotta be a part of the Black is Back Coalition, I wanna be a part of the planning, I wanna do something in my city, my organization is gonna be able to put stuff on the ground, and it doesn't take the place of your organization, but you can be a part of a network of other African organizations who are organizing around the same issue when we decide on that as a steering committee. And so the organizational membership is $50 to $200 compared, depending upon how many people are in your organization. Now, if you want to donate, we have membership levels as well. And we're gonna start, the $1,000 Queen Mother Yah Santawa is our highest level. If somebody I'm gonna start with the highest number right now. Our goal today, I forgot to say that, our goal today is to raise $2,500. I think we could do it. And that includes people who are watching us online as well. And if you are so inclined, you can go to blackwithbackcoalition.org to make an online donation. But in the room, we're going to try to hit our goal of $2,500, and we've done this before. And we apologize for some of the scarcity of some of our people in here, but we realized that the state took down our flyers outside. So people have been trying to find us in this room. So we had some brothers that came in and they was walking about 2 hours trying to find where we are. So we had them outside and the people can't find us right now. So we got to figure out how we're going to accommodate for that. But no matter, we're going to push on and we are going to start and see if anybody in this room can donate $2,500 off top. More African? Plant your seed, you know. Yes. Okay, we didn't see any hands go up. If anybody in this room can donate $1,000. $1,000. Okay. Oh, I thought I saw a hand back there. Okay. So $1,000 is our Queen Mother Soundz level. And if you can't donate $1,000, can anybody in the room donate $500? Oh, Uhuru, wonderful. You mind if I say your name?
Quinn.
Quinn?
No, I said, when do you want?
Oh, we want it now. We can talk to you. If you can write down when you can give it to us, that would be appreciative. If you have it now, that would be great. You can take a check, or I think there's a way to pay for it online as well. But if you have a specific date that you can give that to us, please write that down on your pledge card. Thank you.
Who am I giving it to?
Give it to sister right here, Riverside. Okay, so $500. Anybody else for $500? Okay, thank you so much, brother, for that donation. Okay, I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can drop down. $400. A little bit easier? No? Yeah? $400. Okay. And $500, by the way, is the Chokwe Lumumba level. And that is the brother that was the president, not the president, the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, and died of mysterious causes. And his son was actually recently elected mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. And that's a huge feat for the movement down there. And carrying on the torch of, revolutionary lawyer Chokwe Lumumba. His son is a revolutionary lawyer, and they want to really make changes in a lot of Black people. So let's go down to $365, and that, if you want to be able to make that today, $365 in one payment. Anybody here can do that all in one payment? $365. It equivalent to $1 a day. You can also pledge all of these amounts. So if you have a schedule that you can keep to do any of these payments, that would be great. So $365, equivalent to $1 a day, $30 for, approximately $30 for 12 months. Okay, that's the Marcus Garvey level. How about $100? Can anybody okay, we got. You're pledging $100. Okay, Lisa, whoa. Y'all is pledging $100. Anyone else? Zaki Baruti, $100. Ooh, Zaki, $150. That's right. Okay, I got it. Anybody else? 100? Yes, Charles Barron. Anyone else? Okay. Rose, right? This is last name. David, okay, $100. Okay, Glen Ford, another $100. Okay. All right, any other donations for $100? Okay. I'm going to drop down to $75. Can anyone else in this room do $75? You can pledge it or you can do it all at once right now. Okay. All right. 100 was that sweet spot. Okay. $50. $50. And oh, we're a wonderful brother. $50. Yeah, we know we colonized. We can struggle sometimes to pull out our little money, but you know what? When we see the good work of the organization and you're able to contribute, we appreciate it. We really appreciate it. $50. Anybody else with 50? Okay. And we are going to go down to 60. Sorry, I'm going to go back up to 60. Oh, nobody can do 50. 60 now, yeah? Okay. $25. Okay, that's it right there. $25. $100. Okay. Anybody can do $25. Okay, Uhuru, $25. Anybody say, are we monitoring online to see if anybody's making a donation online? Okay, anybody else with $25? All right, so if we're gonna stop there, and if you're able to contribute anything under $25, please, or over, and you wanna pledge it, and you don't wanna shout it out, Brother Saeed are coming around the room, They soon come around with the basket. Please drop your donations in there, your pledges, your cash, your checks in the basket. We really appreciate it. And we're gonna keep holding ourselves accountable to you. You'll know what we do with the money, and we're gonna continue to persist in building the Black is Back Coalition and continuing the good work of raising up the issues of Black people and to continue a forward march to making a revolution. Oh, and I'm gonna tally all of the money. I'm gonna tally all of the that I have here, and I'm gonna come back a little bit later and give you the total. Okay.
Uhuru.
Black is back.
Black is back. Oh, I don't quite hear you, guys. I'm sorry, it sounds a little silent. Maybe it's my hearing, but you gotta let me know if my DNA gotta resonate. So Black is back.
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 God damn it, Black is back. And hello, Chicago. I just want to say we are so happy to be here in Chicago, and it was unanimously agreed upon. And we said, where do we want to go this time to have our annual conference and recognizing the history of Chicago and our brothers and sisters that struggle on the ground. I just want to say we are so appreciative to be here in Chicago, and we love you and we got your back.
That's right.
We are running on schedule. Right now we are going to be getting ready to break for lunch. Sister Yeshitela, do you want to come up here and tell us? I'm sorry. Sister Colombayi, do you want to tell us what we're doing for lunch? What we need to do? Thank you so much. And also, why don't we just take a few minutes to just acknowledge some of the other people in this room? If you all would just stand up and work so hard to put this event together, like Sister Colombayi out of St. Louis. Many of us did not know each other before we got involved with the Black is Back. And we are here today as family, as if we've known each other our whole lives.
Black is back.
Black is back.
Black is back.
Black is back.
Yes. Okay, so lunchtime. So today we have amazing lunch for everybody. You don't have to leave. You stay right here. And we have wraps. We have vegan wraps, veggie wraps, and turkey wraps. And you get a chip, good water, and a good fruit cup with all natural fruits in them, cut and cleaned and all that. And it was prepared by a revolutionary. Yeah, ice on the top. And you get all this for $7. So stay with us. All you have to do is we have a line right here, and you'll get a bag lunch, and then you'll get your water and your fruit cup. And we do have coffee, and that's free. You can drink as much coffee as you want until we run out. So please enjoy your meal. $7, and Adisa will be out in the back, taking your money. And again, you are supporting the movement because we know that economic and political is one. Okay, so this is an act of Black power as you purchase your lunch today.
Stand up here a moment. Don't go anywhere. People are so modest. They're so modest, but I'm just so proud to know this young sister out of St. Louis. I remember when Mike Brown was gunned down, and I think we were having one of our conferences maybe in Philadelphia, but I just remember thinking at that point that, oh my gosh, we gotta get to St. Louis, so we gotta let them know that we're there for them. And this just speaks to the power and the infrastructure of the Black and Black Coalition, because before I knew it, Brother Chairman Omali Yeshitela was on the ground in St. Louis, and there was a whole lot of organizing going on. But from that, we have strong, wonderful, beautiful people whom we have been able to meet and to work with. Brother Zaki, Baruti, Sister Kalamba. She is also now the president of the International People's Democratic Movement. Also, look how she wears her shirt compared to how I wear my shirt. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, wait, why does your shirt look like this on you? And my shirt looks like out of the mom generation. I'm like, you gotta hook me up. And you still gotta hook me up. And I'm like, but she also, Uzi, right? Uzi. Clothing?
Yeah, Uzi is a Swahili word that means a thread of freedom. Uzi is a Swahili word that means a thread of freedom, and it's our economic development component to the International People's Democratic Uhuru movement. Because we know the government ain't gonna fund the revolution, so we have to be able to sustain our own self. And it's very important for us to say, when we say self-determination, to really have something that people can see how to feed, clothe, and house themselves. And so this is one of our components, Uzi. And so it's out here, and we have other vendors as well. So please see all the vendors. Stop by all their tables and check it out. And definitely check out International People Table. Yeah, we have a conference coming in September the 16th and 17th. It's going to be dynamic. It's going to be in St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to do a tour through Ferguson to see what has happened, because the petty bourgeoisie, neo-colonial puppets have definitely been doing their job, but we've been doing ours too. And we're going to take St. Louis. Revolutionaries are. And so we are going to have a dynamic convention in St. Louis, a working convention where we're going to talk about the electoral politics. We're going to talk about economic and political as one, and how to organize and what should we be organizing around, because we can't chase Amalan, and as long as we are colonized, it's always going to be struggle, but we have to be able to always see it to what end. So we're going to teach people what it means to be an organizer. So come out, be a part of the convention. We have flyers on our table. And if you're in Chicago, we're going to be getting on the bus, 4 hours away. So there's no reason for Chicago not to be in the building, because we want the Midwest. Uhuru.
And I might not get it like this weekend, but I'm determined. You're going to see me wearing one of those shirts like that. I didn't got the time to get it like that this weekend. But for the next conference, yes. Brothers and sisters, so we're going to break for lunch at 11:45 and come back at 12:45. And again, if anybody else in the room, I just want to give some shout outs to other folks that really worked so hard to make this coalition what it is. Brother Dave from True, stand up, my brother. I just wanted to give recognition to a lot of the people doing so much great work. I see Brother Charles Barron is in the room. Come back. We got a strong convention, and we want to keep it that way. Uhuru.
I stopped it. Okay, when I started that, how do I make sure it's recording?